Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Grace. So today is Wednesday, April 3rd. I have had a rough start to old school April. I've just had camera difficulties. I finally just had to reset the whole thing. But I wanted to show you the books that I have, like, just in case I run out of new books or I get stuck on finding a new book for a prompt. These are two or three of these books I haven't read. They're from my shelves. And the other ones will be rereads, but they're books that I would enjoy rereading. Like, it's been a while since I first read them, because I have like a few other books that would fit a lot of the prompts, like basically like all of Grady Hendrix's books, but I've read them within the last couple of years, so I'm not ready for a reread. So let's just get into it. The first one is a middle grade book, and I put like little post-its on what prompts they fit. This book, I've been trying to read it and I just don't get to it. I actually bought this for my daughter. It is by Michael Poore. He wrote my favorite book, Reincarnation Blues. He wrote another book called Up Jumps the Devil, in the perspective of the devil. And I enjoyed that book, but it just wasn't like one of my favorites. But he wrote this middle grade book. Haven't read it. It's called Two Girls, a Clock, and a Crooked House. And it says, in a house in the woods, there's a clock that glows green, waiting to take them somewhere, or somewhen. And on the inside of the book, it says, this is a story of things that are not possible. It's not possible for Amy to see spirits. She does. It's not possible that Amy and Moo can communicate using only their minds. They do. It's not possible to time travel yet. And it's definitely not possible witches exist. Seriously. None of these things are possible until now. So the prompts that it fits are Buffy, Teen Witch. I put VCR questionable because I have like an old school like grandfather clock on it. 16 Candles, Fern Gully, The Goonies, Back to the Future, and Once Upon a Forest. So this would hit a lot of the prompts. This next book, I read it like maybe 4 years ago and I really enjoyed it. It is called Una Out of Order. From what I remember from this book, it's like the early 1980s. And Una is about like 19 years old. She's in this band. She has a boyfriend. And she's given like this jewelry item. I forgot what it was. And from then on, every New Year's Day, she wakes up in a different year of her life. So it's like her whole life out of order. And she just needs to make sense of it and try to figure out what happened, who she's currently with, or where she lives, or like what has happened, basically. So it was just an interesting twist on like the whole time travel thing, because it takes her a few years to like get her bearings, right? She'll be like in her 60s and then she'll go back to her 20s. And then like, it's just like a huge difference in the years of her life. So this book fits the prompts Larger Than Life, Time Warp, Teen Witch, Buffy, Say Anything, and Back to the Future. This next book is a memoir. It's called Everybody's Favorite, Tales from the World's Worst Perfectionist by Lillian Stone. I bought this because I'm pretty sure like her age. She talks about like AOL, being evangelical, and just like the time before like social media, right? So I read it a little bit and I was enjoying it, but then I just put it down. So this fits the prompts: New Kids on the Block, True Life, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because it is pink and yellow. I liked the yellow Power Ranger growing up. Buffy and Time Warp. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I wrote. Okay, and the next book is the Saturday Night Ghost Club. I read this a few years ago as well. This fits Time Warp, Yearbook, and Once Upon a Forest. It is a coming of age story. The main character is like somewhere in his teens, I don't remember. He makes a couple of new friends, and his uncle, Calvin, he's like into the occult and like going ghost hunting and all this stuff, and he takes the kid, his name's Jake, along with it. And I remember it was pretty sad, like the twist in it, but I remember enjoying this book. And okay, another book that I'm wearing her on my shirt right now. It is Yours Cruelly by Elvira. This fits Time Warp, Buffy, True Life, and Halfway to Halloween, because she is the queen of Halloween. A lot of this book takes place in the 80s and 90s. That's like, her heyday. I am not like a celebrity person. Like if I see a celebrity in real life, I'm not going to go up to them or like acknowledge them, but I do, like, I don't go to meet and greets, or my boyfriend gets like tickets to premieres and stuff, and I never want to go to those things, but I love their stories. Like, I love hearing about their lives and like the things behind the scenes. So that's why I really enjoyed this book. And it was just, I remember really liking it. I think I finished it in like a day or two when it first came out. But yeah. And then this one I have never read. I actually picked this up as a blind date with a book. So Barnes and Noble will have like this section where all the books are gift wrapped, and it just has like a little blurb on it that tells you what it's about. And this one says, "Dynamic, I barely believe I've lived this, and you might have too. Endlessly entertaining, multidimensional, but not of madness." And it is Chuck Klosterman's The 90s, a book. And this fits larger than life, time warp, VCR, and true life. So this just covers like every aspect of the 90s. I feel like this is a book I just need to read like a chapter at a time. Otherwise it'll be kind of boring. But I think it will be interesting. I don't know if you remember this like VH1 series a while ago. It was like, I love the 90s, I love the millennium, where they just like go over every like weird trend in like that year. I really enjoyed this. So I feel like this is going to remind me of that. So yeah, I did start reading this. And other books that I have that I don't have like physically. I have the book Mort by Terry Pratchett on my ebook. This fits the prompt where it's like the year you were born, because this book came out in 1987. And I've wanted to read this for a long time, but like the Discworld books overwhelm me. Knowing that there's so many of them, and a part of me just wants to go in order. But Mort was like my favorite character in the book that I did read, which was the Hogfather. And in general, like I love books that have like death as a person. Like I think that's really fun. I love books that take place in the afterlife. So it's been a book that's been on my TBR for a while. Yeah, so that book fits that prompt of like the year you were born. And what else do I have? Oh, I checked out this book from the library. It's called First Date Prophecy. I did start it. I thought it was going to take place in the 90s, but it doesn't. The main character is like in her 30s, so she grew up in the 90s. And it starts off, it's written by a duo. I think they're a real life couple. I didn't really look into them. And at first I was like, because there was this other book that I read that had two authors and I hated it. But I already started reading it, and so far I think I will like it, even though I think it's going to be a romance. So the main character, Lucy, is on a date and it's not going well. She's kind of a tryhard and she knows it. She's like, I know it's either going to be funny or cringy, and I'd rather like just try it and see if like it works out for me, basically. And the date goes badly, and she ends up scrolling on her dating app, and she sees this guy from like a 90s show that she used to love. It was called like Black Hole Suns or something. So she sees him, and it's like this whole like little funny scene where she eventually swipes right on him. And she wants to match with him because she's like, if anything, it'll be a good story. And then you flip to his perspective, and he's actually a twin. He was like on that show with his twin brother, but his twin went on to be really successful, where he's just like taking any kind of music job to like pay the bills. And so he's not successful, but then he sees our main character, Lucy, and he swipes right, and that's like where I've left off. But so far, like, it's funny. It's very like cringe humor, like when you see the character in like this situation that's just awful. And I like that kind of thing. And it wasn't a thing I realized until I was watching Modern Family with my daughter, and she's like, I don't like cringe stuff. Like, it makes me cringe, but I like it. So I was enjoying that book. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with Old School April. I'm just going to post this video and get to reading, and that'll be my next video, because there is this book I'm reading right now that doesn't fit the prompts, but I have to see it through. It's Sign Here by Claudia Lux, and I need to see it. I need to finish this book, and then I can move on with my life. But then I will be fully dedicated to Old School April. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.